What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out some artist tattoos. Once again, welcome back. As I said before, we're going to be checking out some artist tattoos, so I generally expect a little more from these guys. These are people who have already finished their apprenticeship, or should have, so my bar is going to be a little higher for these critiques. First up, we've got one sent in from Dillon Sheehan, and Dillon, you mentioned in your email that you were actually featured in our second ever apprentice video. Let's take a step back in time and check out your apprentice tattoo. So after looking at this tattoo, I think generally your main issue is feathering. Feathering lines, feathering coloring, feathering shading. Everything you have in this tattoo just seems to stop abruptly. Nothing seems to have a nice feather to it. Damn, that was some mustache. It's crazy how time changes things. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like your tattoos have changed that much. Let's check out this blue rose on a hand. If I'm being brutally honest, these still look like apprentice tattoos. This is the kind of work that I would expect out of a 1-year tattooer, maybe 2-year, but there still needs to be a lot of refinement. For instance, the most basic thing, the lines. These lines are a little shaky, especially when we look at the thinner ones, like on the leaf, or even the black circle in the eye. It just seems like you're lacking a bit of confidence. Unlike your email that you sent me where you were very confident in saying that I never look at your tattoos. Well, here we are. Are you happy now? As I said in your last video, your saturation is pretty strong. I just really think you're lacking when it comes to the line work. Again, going back to the black part of the eye, the shading doesn't go up all the way to the line. I'm not really sure why, but I really think you need to tighten that up a bit. It looks like you started to add some black shading to that left petal and just changed your mind. And I'm not sure what's going on in the background, but it looks a lot like when my cat throws up. I'm sorry, Dillon, your passive-aggressive email really got me going. My apologies, I'm all hopped up on Peach Celsius. But anyway, going back to your tattoo, as I said before, your saturation is really solid, especially when it comes to those light blues, which is something that I personally have a lot of trouble with. But when we look at the leaf on the bottom, it just looks like that green really isn't packed in there. It's kind of just, I don't know, noodled in. And it seems like that's a common issue when it comes to critiquing your work. Your saturation is super well put in. Like if we look at this traditional-ish rose with some teeth, the saturation's there. It's just the line work that's a little weak. Even something as small as that 17, that should be squeaky clean. Also, I would try to wait until your client is completely done bleeding before you take photos, because it's just really distracting, and it's not showing off your best work. Those yellow dots almost look orange because of all the blood. You did send over another email though, so let's take a peek at that one. Hey, you wanted this. With this one, your line work is definitely quite a bit better, but the issue here is your shading. For example, when we look at this frontmost step, I can tell that you're shading from the bottom to the top and also from the left to the right. When you're shading these steps, you want to kind of shade them in the same direction throughout the entire thing just so it looks more consistent. Let's be honest, your line work is kind of ass when it comes to those stars. Those could definitely be a lot more strong. You want these things to pop as hard as possible. They are stars after all. So put a nice thick 14 round liner around those things, give them all the brightness in the world, and make sure that they are symmetrical. Because right now these are all over the place. Especially this top one, I don't know what the hell he's doing up there. So I definitely see improvement with your tattoos when we compare it to the Apprentice episode, but it just seems like when you put a lot of attention on your lines, your saturation becomes an issue. And when your saturation's great, your lines aren't. But Dillon, thank you so much for letting me poke at you a little bit, and I hope you don't take it too serious. Thank you so much for sending those in. The next one comes in from Seth Holmes, and Seth, you sent over this wild-looking fish head sushi tattoo. I actually met Seth a few years ago when I did a guest spot in Pennsylvania, and Seth, you were a super rad dude, but I'm about to f you up. I'm just kidding. This thing is rock solid. I love all the attention to detail you gave this thing, like when it comes to the little grains of rice. I can clearly tell what it is, and just the overall creativity of this thing. It's got almost 3 or 4 parts to it. You've got the fish head, you've got the sliced up body, and you've got the body turned into sushi rolls, as well as the chopsticks. So there's a lot going on here, but it doesn't seem like you got lazy in any area. I love the texture of the meat, giggity, and even the texture of the seaweed around the roll, how you put these little white highlights in there, just giving it some sort of feeling. You actually gave it the characteristics of seaweed, which was probably really hard to do, but you made it look easy. You didn't overdo it with the white, which I really appreciate. You only put them in the spots that needed it, like the seaweed, the side of the fish, and in the fish head. Just very minimal, but that makes a bigger impact. People really want to overdo it with the whites, but it takes a certain skill to hold back, and you did just that. It's got nice line weights, the coloring is smooth, this thing is just solid all around. If I'm being nitpicky, it would be really hard to find something. but sushi's generally served in 4 or 6 pieces, so I gotta knock you down a peg for that one. I'm kidding, Seth, but in all seriousness, it is really hard for me to find something to pick apart. It's an excellent tattoo. I'm sure your client is over the moon. Thank you so much for sending that over.
All right, real quick, I want to take a break and give a shout out to the sponsor of our channel, Mad Rabbit. Mad Rabbit is a tattoo aftercare company that has something for everyone. Whether you're a new tattooer or a longtime veteran, they've got you covered. So head on over to madrabbit.com and check out all they have to offer. And be sure to use code PONY20 to save 20% off your entire order. All right, let's get back to it.
The next one comes in from Ashley Harms, and Ashley, you've been tattooing for about a year now, and you mentioned in your email that you want me to be brutally honest. So thank you for that. I absolutely love it when people tell me to be brutally honest. It's just a bit more fun. So for anybody else watching, if you want me to be brutally honest, please mention it in the email because, again, I absolutely love it. I don't feel like I have to hold back at all. Anyway, let's check out this white girl tattoo. You've got this feather with a leopard or cheetah on the inside with a nice set of blue eyes. Can't get much more white girl than that. I will say one plus of this tattoo is that striking blue eye, which generally I hate, but it really draws our eye to their eye, which is a plus in this case because we're not really paying attention to all the other mistakes, such as these really weak lines that are bordering this feather. They're almost non-existent. It's just gonna make this thing almost too soft when it's healed up and lived in for a few years. I always suggest this throwing a really thin outline or even a gray wash outline around the entire perimeter just so it holds up over time. And it's one of those things that you never really notice, but it keeps the integrity of the tattoo. Another thing is the bottom of this tattoo. I'm not really sure what's going on there. I'm sure it's just some sort of background to the leopard or cheetah, but it just looks like a lot of nothing. Also, the top of the feather just makes his ear look really fluffy, which I guess I don't hate. I would love to see a cheetah with super fluffy ears. I think that'd be adorable. No, it just gets a little confusing on the top and bottom. The midsection is okay, there's nothing really crazy about it, but you have only been tattooing for a year, so I can only expect so much. But I bet your client absolutely loves this tattoo. Judging on her arm and her dumb shirt, I bet she loves watching true crime documentaries and fantasizing about her husband. I'm just kidding. Moving on to the other tattoo you sent in. This one for me personally has a lot of line work issues. At first I didn't even see the hand at the bottom of the tattoo. I just read your throat here. And I'm like, of course it's a throat. And then I saw the hand. It's just very, and I hate using this word, but it is very tonal. There's almost no contrast in this entire tattoo. It just gets very messy when it comes to the hair intertwining with the tattoos and the flowers. It's just really hard to tell what's what. And I gotta say, that upper lip is out of control. The bottom lip is generally more full than the top lip, unless you love getting injections, of course. I'm not hating on it, you do you. But somebody's gotta tell you. The lip just looks unnatural, the nose looks rather stubby, and I know there's a perspective where she's kind of lifting her head up, but it just looks like a very short nose. In combination with the lips, she just looks like a clown, which I guess is what you were going for. So hey, good job, I guess. The lines on the tattoos just really aren't that strong. The shading could definitely be better, and her jaw just reminds me of Joe from Family Guy.
What's that supposed to mean?
All jokes aside, I just think you need to be working on smaller images for being only a year into tattooing. You really need to refine your skills with these smaller tattoos, especially the outlines, because they are the foundation of tattooing after all. So thank you, Ashley, for sending those over. I do really appreciate you, even though it doesn't sound like it. But you did say to be brutally honest, so that's on you. The next few come from Britt Taylor, a 6-year tattooer out of Jackson, Michigan. Britt, you mentioned in your email that you want me to rip these apart, so thank you for that. However, these things are dope. We'll start with this Xenomorph Pez dispenser, and I have to admit, I've never seen the movie Alien or Predator. I don't know what any of this is. Regardless, this thing is sick. I absolutely love the Xeno word on this side of the Pez dispenser itself, and even the creativity of the little mouth thing dispensing the Pez. I'm sure there's a name for it. You also mentioned in your email that there was a little bruising on the top because this is in the ditch of an arm, so I don't put that on you. At least you don't edit your photos. But this thing has all the bells and whistles. Multiple line weights, super solid saturation, and it is very creative. Let's check out the next one. All right, this Mars Attacks piece is, this is beautiful. I don't understand how you get color this bright. It is so good. You've got the line weights in the brain, you've got these nice teals blending in with these crazy bright greens, and everything is kept so clean. I love how you kept these strips of skin tone where the helmet meets the collar. It just really gives the illusion of glass without really doing anything. And again, as I said before about whites, you really didn't overdo it. It's kept where it needs to be, in the eyes, maybe a little in the teeth, but that's it. And something as simple as the eyebrows, they're so dope. I love how you managed to capture these almost wrinkle-like textures just with multiple line weights and simple shading. You also sent over this dinosaur that I gotta bring up because this thing is so cool. Even these little bubbles, you kept them super simple and only used 2 colors, but the colors that you chose, this light blue and light pink, just make it feel so soft and clean. I really gotta give you props on your color blending. Like if we look up to the dinosaur snout, the way that you managed to color this dark green color to the mid-green to the lightish yellowy green color, it doesn't feel forced. Everything seems to be done with intention on this tattoo. Even that little teacup at the bottom, you just have a little bit of blue shading coming out to the skin tone, and it really sells that effect. Excellent job, Britt. I wish I could rip into you more, but you just don't deserve it. Thank you so much for sending those over. Oh, it's a T-Rex.
What'd you say?
No, I mean, it's just a T-Rex.
Oh, I didn't even think. That's good. Good work.
Good work, Britt. All right, these next few were sent in from Carlos Fabre, and Carlos, you mentioned in your email that you would like some advice on where to go with your career. Well, I would say by looking at these tattoos is back to the drawing board. You mentioned you were a designer for Xbox and Skechers and whatnot, but I'm just not seeing it. These might be some of the more rough tattoos I've ever critiqued on this channel, and that's saying something. You didn't mention that you want me to be brutal, but I gotta be honest. You did send these in for critique, so I'm gonna help you out as much as I can, I guess. Please don't think I'm ripping on you just to rip on you, because you already did enough of that yourself. These tattoos are on somebody's body permanently. Like if we talk about this, what I think is a butterfly tattoo. This thing is scary, and I think this is a healed photo of said butterfly tattoo, and it looks like it's super scarred up. You kind of leaving me speechless. This elephant looks like it's maybe from a video game or cartoon or something, but it's just, coming from a designer, it's not really making a whole lot of sense. The trunk looks like it's also his leg. The pink just looks like it's scratched in there for lack of words. The car tattoo. Oh man, I don't know what advice I can give to you, honestly, aside from getting a proper apprenticeship. I know you mentioned that you said you had 3 mentors that own their own shops, but honestly, I don't think they really helped you out at all. It just looks like a lot of bad habits that's gonna take some time to unlearn. Even the box around the car, I don't know if it's purposefully supposed to look wrong, but I can't really tell. So I don't know if it's wrong or if it's just done really bad. I just really can't get over this butterfly. This is killing me. The lines are super blown out, like in this little area here. And again, the scarring that you can clearly see from the light catching it. If I could give you the most solid advice I could, it would be to stop tattooing on skin. Start working on fake skin. Draw on paper. Get these designs down solid before putting them on skin, because these do have to live on people. And again, I'm sorry if I'm being mean, but if there's nobody around you willing to tell you this, then I guess that's what I'm here for. You might see some things being said about your tattoos in the comments, but don't take it to heart. If this is something you really want to do, you have to master these designs on paper first. Take some seminars from other artists. I know it's an investment, but I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's an investment in your career. Carlos, I want you to send me some tattoos in a year, because I really do want to help you out if you're willing to take this seriously. But as I said before, I know you don't want to hear it, but I would stop tattooing on skin for the time being. I hope you still like me after this. I do genuinely want to help you out. It just worries me with where you're at right now. I don't want you to instill a lot of these bad habits. Now's the time to pivot and make changes. I appreciate you having the balls to send these over. Thank you so much for sending them in. Whew, that was a doozy. But now that the critiques are over, I gotta give you my favorite of the week. And this week, I'm having trouble deciding. I'm gonna need your guys' help. Between Brit Taylor and Seth Holmes, who do you guys think deserves Tattoo of the Week? These tattoos are just so freaking cool with almost 0 flaws. Seth's tattoos are technically on point, and Brit's color is just screaming it's so loud. So I really can't decide. You guys let me know in the comments below, and congratulations to the both of you. All right, now it's time to put a spotlight on somebody who I think you should all be following, and this week it's Levi Hilton out of San Diego, California.
San Diego.
Levi is not only a very solid tattooer, but he draws almost everything he does, if not everything. Levi's tattoos are just so insanely expressive. They are wildly dynamic, and just the fact that he draws all these tattoos himself just makes it that much more impressive. I'm shocked to see he only has 44,000 followers when he deserves much, much more. So do yourselves a favor, head on over to his page and check out all of his outstanding work, give him a follow, and let him know I sent you. Alright, that's gonna wrap up this episode. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It is free after all. If you love tattoo-related content, we've got so much more on the way. We've got a lot of new stuff coming down the pipeline, so you don't want to miss it. Thanks to all the artists who sent in their submissions, and I'll see you guys next week.